Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the On the Map Challenge on Alma, Missouri. We're starting things off this morning by getting a cutting of hay off. This is actually the first cutting of hay we've taken out this year. It's a little later in the year for a first cutting. It is May. We usually try to get the first cutting off in about April, but we're waiting a month later this year, mainly because we didn't really need the hay. I'm just really trying to get some nice headlands done before I start working around the field. But yeah, it's May 1st. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, and cutting hay is not the only thing we're going to do in this episode, because we've got some fields that need some fertilizer, specifically fields of wheat. We're going to spray some liquid fertilizer. We've got to get this hay up as well. There's some rain on the way. And then to top it all off, we've got to sell our soybeans. Well, in about a month, but it is coming up. We'll more than likely hit it this video. But that's not all we're doing. That's just the main points I can kind of think of, since we've got most of our planting done. We've just got wheat harvest and soybean planting to do, but that's about all the crop work we're going to do for the rest of the year, other than putting fertilizer out. And we're finally starting to make that transition from spring into summer. You can probably tell outside it's starting to look a little more like summer. So with all that being said, I'm going to get this hay finished up. We've got, well, basically the entire field to get done. I've just been out here for about 15 minutes, so just getting started here. So yeah, with all that being said, let's knock out some chores today, and I believe you all know what comes next. Cue the intro. Well, alright, like you heard in the intro, we're starting this one off by cutting some hay. We've been feeding the cows a lot of rolls of hay, and we're starting to run a little low, so this is what we're going to do to make up for it. Now we're just going to make some more. I think we've got 1.5 stacks still in the barn, so we've used 1.5. We had 3 entire stacks of hay, and now we're down to our last 1.5. So we've used half of it over the span of the winter, which, I guess that is enough to keep us going. But if my plan is going to work out like I want it to, where we end up finishing the barn out for the cows in the summertime, we're going to be using a lot more hay. So we're going to need the extra as much as we can get. And we still don't have a lawnmower on the farm, so I've been itching to cut some grass either way, and this is the best I've got, so we're going to make the most of it. But even though it's May, that does not mean that it is a dry season. It's still going to be pretty busy on the farm. We've got wheat crop to spray. As you can see, there's a field of it right there. We've got to put some fertilizer out because we have been really slacking in that department. We've waited a long time to put fertilizer out, and the nitrogen count is extremely low. So that's one of the first things we're going to be doing today. We've got a little bit in the spray we're going to be using, but we're more than likely going to have to buy some more. If you guys watched the last episode, I'm really sick and tired of buying fertilizer. It has absolutely killed me. I know what is the most cost-effective thing on the farm, and I know now what is the most expensive thing on the farm, and obviously fertilizer takes a cake for the most expensive thing by far. Seed and all that's got to be right there with it, but golly, fertilizer is expensive. Don't get me wrong, it is absolutely worth it. Our yields are going to be hopefully crazy good. That's the only reason I'd ever put it out. And then hopefully before long we won't be completely broke, because like I said, we've got to sell our soybeans. I think about 1st of June, maybe June 2nd, somewhere in there is when we're going to be able to get out there and sell our soybeans, which is really not even that far away. So I've done the math. We're going to make anywhere from 70 to 80 grand on soybean selling, or maybe more than that if there's a great demand. It just depends on how we time it when we sell the stuff, but we're really looking at a decent income. So I'm happy that we're going to make a little more profit, because a summer crop is the way to go. Something that sells good in the summer. We can't really just sell everything in the winter and expect an entire year's worth of cash to last. So that summer soybean sale usually holds us through the rest of the year. So obviously I'm going to spend a lot of it for the finishing barn, but that's going to help us out this winter because we're going to be selling cows as soon as we can. So like I've mentioned hundreds of times, we've got a pretty nice, I guess I'd call it like an assembly line going on the farm. We've got a lot of stuff making us money, so that 20 grand in the bank account is not going to be 20 grand for long. And then besides selling our soybeans, cutting hay, and fertilizing some wheat fields. I mean, we've got a few other odd jobs to do. We are probably going to break the planter out eventually and get that field of soybeans planted over here to the right of me. You can't really see it right now, but the field that's like really close to the farm, that one's going in soybeans. And then obviously when we get the wheat off of the, I guess it's like 2 fields we've got that are wheat, we're going to be planting soybeans right behind those fields as well. So a lot of soybean planting is coming, but that's not going to happen until like June or July. So just trying to think of something that we'd have to do in May or early June, because to be honest with you, we don't really have anything super busy going on the farm until about July or whenever the wheat's going to be ready, because we've got to get the wheat up, maybe bale the straw, and then we've got to plant soybeans right behind that. So yeah, looks like we're pretty busy year-round this year. Last year we weren't as busy in the summer, but this year that is the opposite. And also, I never really know how to cut this field of hay. I just do it like this. I think this is the fastest way. You just kind of work your way around the field because it's kind of a circle. Usually you'd start on the longest end of the field and work your way back and forth, but it's kind of hard to do it on this field when, you know, all the edges are exactly the same. It is a pretty decent circle, but I am hoping to get in here either tomorrow or the next day and ted this and rake it. We're going to have probably another 9 bales out of this field. That's usually the yield, is 9 every time, so I'm not going to complain about that at all. And then we'll be able to get a second cutting in about August off of this field as well. So I mean, that's 18 bales actually. That's not bad at all, plus the stuff we've still got. So yeah, I think we're pretty set for the winter because we only have to feed, I think it's a bale a day in the pasture. Feed them a bale a day or 2. I mean, it changes, but whenever we move some of the cows to the finishing barn, it'll be 2 bales a day, I guess. So yeah, we'll worry about that math when we get there. I just gotta worry about getting the stuff out of the field for right now. And I think it's pretty safe to say that everybody on the farm is antsy to get into wheat harvest. I know I am for sure. Cannot wait to test the new combine, the new wagon, just see how everything's going to work out, because we do have a lot of new on the farm, and I'm ready to get the paint chipped and dirt on the tires. I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy wheat harvest just as much as fall harvest when we get soybeans or corn out of the field. It is one of my favorite times of the year. I do indeed love it a lot, and I think that axial flow is going to do so good. Well, I say new, but new to us. And well, speaking of that, we are now done with this field. We'll pack on up out of here. Unfortunately, this is the only field of hay we've got right now, because we've done away with our other field of hay and it's now crop. Well, actually, speaking of that, it's right here. So we just bring the mower down here, cut a field, and we wrap it up. It's an easy job, but I do kind of miss the long days of just cutting hay. Maybe we will invest in another field of just strictly hay crop here soon, so we can have at least 2 fields of hay to cut. But I guess I'm just going to send this down into the shed, the pull-through shed. We're going to just stick it in there for now. I'll worry about unhooking it later. And I guess we can get right to spraying some liquid fertilizer. Now, we don't have much to go, but I think I'd rather get an early start on it. So we'll just park that right there, and I'm going to have to check the map first to see what we're going to have to spray, because I'm kind of doing this like I'm winging this. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. I haven't looked at it much. I'm just throwing stuff out there that we've got to do. Make sure I've actually got some in the sprayer first. I've got 1,400 liters, so I think that's half a sprayer tank or a little more. All right, now we'll check the nitrogen count in the soil, and you can see that the fields of red is what we've got to be putting nitrogen on. Now, I don't understand. Our field of hay has 0 kilograms to the hectare. Really wish I was acre, but this is horrible. Worst yield you can get on nitrogen. So we might have to spread some fertilizer out this fall or something. I don't know. That's pretty terrible. But as far as everything else goes, I mean, we're just looking in kind of all over the place. So obviously this field right here needs to be sprayed. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I think Todd or Dalton 1 has already sprayed one of the fields, so we've only got 1 to spray. Well, that takes a little bit of the workload off of me for sure. We've even got some outdated data. So we're going to have to take another soil sample on this field. Just a lot of working with the soil is what I'm noticing, but our environmental score is pretty decent. We're doing good everything in through here, so nothing to complain about there. Oh, and we are going to have to spray herbicide eventually, so need to keep some of our money for that. That'll come in probably June or July. Weeds usually tend to get pretty bad there. So as far as I'm concerned, we're going to buzz on down to 28. That should be the last of the fertilizer in the sprayer. We'll use it all on this field. So we'll fire up the 8300 and we will get it on the road. And you know, this tractor, I really feel like it would look super good with a set of, what are they called? Go out behind the tires like some row markers, or not row markers, flashers to go over the wheels. I saw a decent pair on Facebook Marketplace, and there was even a beacon for this tractor. So I wonder if that's something I would invest in, is like a fully upgraded kit for this tractor. First thing I'd really want is a full rack of weights, because we don't have any other kind of weights on the farm that fit this tractor like this. I guess the ones on the 8320 might, but these are a little different, if you can kind of see what I mean. They're like the newer style, but I don't know. I'm kind of falling for the propaganda to have the side flashers or whatever they're called, and then maybe even a beacon. I've never ran a beacon on this tractor, and I think it might look pretty sweet, especially if we're hauling like a grain cart or something, which is something I'm thinking about doing, is turning this tractor into a grain cart tractor. We'll have the 8320 on the big wagons, and then maybe even a semi truck and trailer, and then this tractor will pull a grain cart through the field, and it'll actually offload the combines and then fill up the waiting trucks and wagons at the side of the field, like we used to do on Farming Simulator 22, and that worked like a dream. So thinking we're going to do the same thing with this tractor, and I think that would give it a pretty hefty upgrade. I mean, that's really nothing, but definitely some rear wheel weights as well. Just talking simple upgrades, people. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You guys can let me know for sure if you prefer the side markers, but I don't know. I was just kind of looking and happened to see some and think that would look pretty nice on this tractor, but you know, I don't know if I have the money to be spending on that kind of stuff right now. I need to save every penny. And actually, this wheat is a lot farther along than I thought it was. Holy cow. So hopefully we're not going to make a big mess of the crop. It's already headed out, so this stuff's going to be ready in a month. We'll be in here in June, I believe. If everything goes right, we should be able to double crop this year without a problem. I'm even seeing some browning at the bottom of the crop, so that's good. Wheat that is almost ready to harvest in May. Who'd have thought of that? That seems like a miracle. So yeah, we're going to give it some fertilizer, give it one last boost before we harvest it. Alright, just trying to get everything lined up here. It's not being too friendly with me. Something about like that should do it, I think. Man, we are in like road gear, spraying at 15 miles an hour. I don't remember spraying this quick, especially when we put out pre-merge or whatever. Not long ago, that was a lot slower than this, I feel like. So yeah, we should for sure be able to use all this on this field, and then herbicide will come next. Oh, we are actually going to have to put some fertilizer out on those soybeans when we plant them, so maybe we do need to save a little bit, because this is the last of the liquid fertilizer we've got. Also, you can see where that tornado tried to come through a month or so ago. I'm thinking we're going to have a stormy summer. I don't know if that's true or not. I've been watching the forecast, but they're saying a lot of rain and tornadoes and thunderstorms and all that good stuff. Well, I say good stuff. That's not exactly something to brag about. I hope that's not the case, because I've had a tornado come through Alma before, and if you guys remember, it left me in a pretty bad spot with my field of soybeans. It absolutely destroyed it. That's the only thing I worry about, is as we expand our acreage, we're going to have to worry about getting hit by a tornado more and more, because we've got more fields on the map. That's obviously, you know, that's more chances of a tornado hitting our crop. Oh man, here we go. This is the strangest part of the field. It's kind of hard to get all this corner. You have to like pull up and be really careful here. Oh well, I actually did that first try. Look at me go. Now we'll back it up, careful not to hit the booms and any tree lines, and as well as backing over too much crop, which I guess I've got crop destruction turned off, or we would be making a crazy mess over all this field. Or well, the sprayer's got care wheels. I guess the duals in the front might as well. I don't know. I think I do actually have crop destruction on, but this is working a dream. I just need to see what the nitrogen count is saying, and it looks well, not great. I don't think it really changes that much with wheat, to be honest with you, but it'll make all this orange in here turn green, so that's a good thing. And I really would have liked to put this out in different stages, but this is the first time I've put out fertilizer, so we'll run a second application over the corn, because a lot of you guys did tell me in the comments there's a way you can apply different rates of fertilizer like in different time periods, so I like that. It's pretty cool, good to know. And check this out. Okay, well that's a little interesting. Looks like we've got different crop growth in the field right here. That's where I took out that tree line. I believe that's because I skipped time with easy dev rather than sleeping, and it kind of messed the growth stage up. Oh, that's not good. It'll be alright, I'll fix that. It's no big deal. Besides, we've got this entire sea of good looking wheat, so hey, we're not going to let a little bad spot in the field affect us. We've got this entire field to work with, and I hate to say this, but I think we're going to run out of liquid fertilizer before we're done with this field, so I'm just going to try and make the most of all this stuff. I'd rather come down here and put some nitrogen on this part where it's darker red. I think that'll help the field out a lot more down here, because the yield is going to be very poor if we don't. We're just going to absolutely burn through this. I don't understand why you have to put so much out at once, which I guess this is the first time we've put out fertilizer, and it's got a very bad nitrogen count, so that makes sense. But I'm worried about my wallet, man. It's going to have a hole in it when we're done with all this. Alright, I'm going to turn around right here a little early and come back up the field. I want to put as much of this on the worst spots as I can. And I'm actually going to come up here a little bit farther and drop it down right here. I've got to be very meticulous with how I put this stuff out, and I might even pick it back up again. Oh, nope, we are out of fertilizer. Okay, well, let's just take a look at precision farming. What's it saying? How much did we miss? Well, that could be worse. I'm kind of debating buying another barrel of fertilizer because we'd have some extra and we finish this field out. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 spots left. And then, oh man, yeah. Let's buy another barrel of fertilizer. I am going to have to bring it down here. Or I'll call Todd, Dalton, one of them two. That does mean I'm going to have to drive all the way up to the end of the field. I don't want them coming down in here with the truck. Tell you what though, this is kind of neat to see the different variations, like the growth stages of the wheat. You can tell pretty easily right here. This looks more like grass, but you can tell it's wheat because it's got the pointy ends, and you can tell the heads are going to start popping out. And then a month later, we've got this where it's twice as tall, the heads are all out, the leaves are more, I don't even know what you call that. The leaves are like pushed down and the heads are way above them. So that is pretty neat to see. Oh, and it also filled in a whole lot more after this. You can see how like spotty it is. I just really wish wheat was drilled in lines like it is in real life. I mean, we drill all this with a grain drill, but when it's actually growing, it looks like it's broadcasted with a fertilizer. I've complained about that in the past. I just really wish I could figure out a way to make it in lines, but I think this is still pretty neat to see the two different growth stages side to side, even though this is a glitch, because obviously this is where we took out those tree lines, and this is all supposed to be crop right here, which it is, but it's not called up with the rest of the field, so I guess that's what I get for not sleeping at my house and sleeping in the Easy Dev menu instead. But don't you guys worry, that's not cheating at all. That's just being a little bit lazy. I'll never do that again because I don't really like going back and fixing the fruit types like that to make them all the same growth stage or whatever. So, well, now actually wish there was something else for me to do because I'm gonna have to wait on them to get here with fertilizer. I've done made a phone call, so here I will back up all nice and perfect for them so they can bring the tender trailer down here and fill me up. And I guess I'll just see you guys then. They're more than likely gonna bring my truck, so they should be down here in a jiffy with the liquid fertilizer, and we're gonna fill this sprayer up, and I'll be right back to it. So yeah, I will see you guys then. Alright, well, I guess it's just my lucky day because we had some liquid fertilizer in the tender, and I didn't even realize it till Todd got to the farm and he told me there was some left over. So sure is a good thing he checked in the tank before he bought another one. So yeah, we're going to get this sprayer filled up now, and we're going to head, well, right here. We're going to finish the field out. That is really awesome. That's honestly made my day because we didn't have to spend, what, $2,500 on another tank of fertilizer, so who cares if he brought my own truck down here. But I think we actually do have to be in the truck to fill it up. Oh, we got to start the engine too. This is going to take all 2,000 liters, but for right now, I think this should just about do it. And alright, well, just like that, there goes Todd. He's going to, well, take that back to the farm. He is absolutely reckless in my truck. He has a need for speed or something, so I do appreciate him doing that for me. But for right now, we're going to get back to spraying. Just got to kind of get my bearings straight with where I left off. It was somewhere in here. I think we were actually going to make a trip down to this bottom part of the field to finish up where we missed, and then we're going to come back towards the field approach. Something like this right in here should just about do it. Let's make sure everything's going like I want it to, and I believe it is. We'll even hit this little spot right here now that we've got enough in the tank. So, alright, there we go. We got this whole part of the field done. We'll drive up here now. One thing I did notice is if you plant and put fertilizer right behind when you plant a field and you like fully apply all your liquid fertilizer at one point, it really does make the field, the nitrogen count is really smooth across the board, like you've probably seen when I had the map open. It is just perfect. There's not, kind of like how this field, you can see there's like a bunch of spots where there's more nitrogen, less. It's kind of like in color differences where some of it's orange, some of it's yellow, some of it's green. That's not the case when you just plant it with or like plant your field with and put nitrogen out at the same time. Whether that's a game feature or a glitch, I'm not real sure, but that seems kind of like real life, maybe not like real life. I'll show you what I mean here, because this is pretty good to like write down to know. So you can see this is corn. This is the best example, field 25. So is this field. You can just see, compared to a field that's had hail damage, some outdated stuff, as well as different field boundaries have changed because of me, stuff like that. This field's got a really spotty nitrogen count across the board, and also partly, I'm assuming, because we planted the crop before we put nitrogen out, or like we waited a while, something like that. That's more than likely going to have an effect with it. But something like this, where we applied the liquid fertilizer or the nitrogen, whatever, as soon as we planted the field, you can see that that's a totally different count. And I mean, that could be difference of crops or whatever, because I've noticed in the trend it's all corn that's like that. But either way, that is nice. I do like to see that. That's something I can brag about. So yeah, we'll head back out of the menu now, and we will wrap this road train up, and we can head on back down to the farm. We'll park the sprayer now. We were already done with that. Todd took half the workload off of me because he got done spraying that other field of wheat. There was 2, and he's already done that other field. So now we're all done with fertilizing. We've just got to worry about the soybeans when it's time for that, but that won't be for another month or 2 out. So I'll leave this tractor hooked up to the sprayer because we're going to need to put some herbicide out as soon as it's time for weed spraying. So that shouldn't be long at all. But for right now, I think we are just about finished with all this little odd job stuff for today. Don't know if there's anything else we've got to do today. I've just got to really do some bookwork, paperwork, fill out some stuff for summer. We've got a lot of stuff coming up that I've got to do, like finances and whatnot. So that will more than likely be where I'm going to be at for the rest of today. And then I've also got to eat a late lunch. I haven't eaten lunch yet, so we'll get to that eventually as well. So with all that being said, I guess I will jump to May 2nd, and we will start getting that hay up in that bottom field, and then before long, we will bale it. So yeah, I'm going to cut straight to that, and that'll be right now, I guess. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Okay, well, back to the hayfield we go. We cut this yesterday, and now we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to bring the tedder out here and get this hay to dry. So yeah, it's May 2nd. We just skipped a day. We finished spraying all the fertilizer yesterday, and we also cut the hay, and now we're coming back the next day to ted the stuff. I said day like 3 times there, so I hope you're following me. But before we get started, I think I should mention that Todd has done a great job washing this tractor. This is the cleanest this Ford has ever been since we bought the farm, and it was dirty then. So I just want to give Todd a shout out for cleaning the tractor up. It looks so much better. You can actually tell it's blue now. And so we are going to get started in just 1 second. We're going to ted this stuff out. It is a little early in the morning, but it's sunny, so we're going to try and get as much of the moisture out of this as we can so it can dry faster, because the quicker we ted this stuff, flip it over, get it all spread out, it'll dry, because it's 55 degrees in May, that's actually a little chilly, but this is going to help it dry a whole lot being out here early. So we're going to get right to it, and I think this right here is all we're going to be doing today. So we'll ted this hay, and then we can call it a day until tomorrow, I would say. And then tomorrow we're going to come back out here and we're going to rake it and bale it. I think Todd's going to help me, and Dalton is also probably going to be joining us as well. So that's on the calendar for tomorrow. And as far as June goes, I guess we're just going to get right into selling soybeans. So, it was starting off like a pretty busy month, but now it's really just kind of laid back. So we're just going to make a little hay today. No big deal whatsoever. And I actually had to put this on the narrow swath setting because there's so much of this on the ground. We're probably going to get 9 bales out of this field like we always do, but you can tell it's thick stuff. I mean, it's really throwing it out there. And I also learned the other day, well, earlier, it was about 30 minutes ago when I was coming out here to ted this field, you can actually pivot this tedder, I don't even really know what you call it, the entire like tedder bar tilts with the forks and everything on it. So you can actually fling the hay back a little higher up into the air and farther back. I think that's pretty cool if you ask me. I'm not really sure what it's called or anything, so beating around the bush, but it's something like that. It's pretty neat. And then we'll switch it back to like a wider swath, and we'll fill in all these little gaps right in here. This should help out a good deal. And also, at the time of recording this episode, or like right now, the Alma, Missouri map update dropped. And after doing some play testing around, I can actually have a way where I can combine the save games on the map update. So I don't really know how to explain to do it, but in the next day or so, I'm going to update the map and bring everything up to date. So basically, I'll still have all the buildings here, my farm will be here, all my equipment, all the equipment will have the same hours. The only thing that's going to be different is my map is going to be reset, or actually no, I think the fields and everything will stay the same. The only thing that will get reset are the crop textures. So I've got what feels like millions of custom textures in here with my soybeans and my grass, and everything's got a custom texture to it. So I'm going to have to go in and obviously redo all those textures, which is going to take a good hour or so because there's a lot of them in here, but that's not too bad. And in return, I'll have some new farmland I can buy. Alfalfa should be a crop in the game if I do everything right, and whatever little changes the map update brings with it, they'll all be in here. So I know I had a lot of you guys asking me in my comment section, and I mean a ton of you were asking me what I'm going to do when the map update comes out. Well, it's out as of recording this, and I'm more than likely just going to combine the saves like I said I would. So we'll see how that works. If it doesn't work, well, then forget I said any of this, but I think it's going to work. Never done anything like this before, so I'm going to test it out. And for the doubters in the comment section, I have already tried this, and it does work. I just am going to have to figure everything else out. So yeah, pretty excited to have alfalfa on Alma, that's for sure. That's probably the most excited I am for something in the update. Oh, and the new field. There's obviously an extra farmland that we can purchase. That's always cool. And it's on that field I was talking about in the winter episode, so we won't have to spend 700 grand on that field anymore. I think it costs like 150,000 for the new plot of land, so that is a win in my book. I'll tell you what, we are actually kind of flying through this tedding process here. Really didn't think it'd go by this fast, but this is not a very big field whatsoever. I would really like to have some more hay ground. It's coming, don't worry, you guys. I'll have some more hay ground soon. And speaking of hay ground, I really want to buy a new disc bind soon. We've had that hay bind forever, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I would like some suggestions for a mower I should get. I'm really leaning towards like a New Holland like I had on Farm Sim 22. Like a 1411, I think that would go so perfect with this farm, but you guys can let me know any suggestions you want to see. Also, I thought a Kubota mower would be pretty sweet as well. I mean, ideas, people, ideas, that's all it is. Throw me some for sure, and I'll see what I can cook up, because I feel like this coming winter, we might have ourselves a little bit of a buy and splurge once again. I always do. I can't help myself, so I really need to have a little more self-control and pay off these loans and everything I'm working with right now, but I don't know, maybe we'll see some pretty nice upgrades like a disc bind and stuff this coming winter. That's really far ahead though. I'm just kind of jumping the gun. So first things first is selling our soybeans, and we'll see what we can work with from there. But on the contrary, look at that. There's that field all finished. We'll fold everything up here, take this on down to the farm again. We were just there, seemed like. This only took like 10 minutes. Oh, and actually, while we're here, I do want to hop out and check on the soybeans, just see how they're doing. Or not the soybeans, the corn. I don't know why I said soybeans, but check out the corn. It's at least almost knee height, so that's okay. Or well, technically, it's almost waist high. That's some actually pretty tall stuff, so it's coming up. Seems like only yesterday we planted this field, but hey, it's looking pretty good. Just figured I'd walk out here and do a little crop inspection because we haven't done it yet. And then now we'll get back on our noble steed and ride back up to the farmyard. So I know that was really fast. That took like hardly any time whatsoever, but I'm going to put the tedder up as well as the tractor. I don't really have anything else to do for the rest of today, so I will just cut this clip short right here. And I will meet you guys on May 3rd, and we'll get this hay up. And I believe Todd should be joining me, so we'll see how that works out. If not, Dalton will be here to rake, because I want somebody to be raking the field and me be baling the hay, or vice versa. So we'll see when we get there. I mean, it's less than 24 hours away. So yeah, I will see you guys then, and we'll figure it out then. Well, folks, it is time to bale some hay. Unfortunately, or well, maybe I should say fortunately, Todd has already been to the farm and raked the hay and left. Him and Dalton both are at a farm auction, and they're on their way. It's about 30 miles south of here, I think. They're just going to an auction. I didn't even know about it. I just woke up to it, and they've already raked the hay. So we're just going to finish the job and bale it and pick the bales up and put them in the shed. That's what we're going to be doing today. And we've got rain coming, so we got to hustle is what we've got to do today. So we're going to move this tractor out of the way first. We're going to be using the 4250 back there. We're going to be needing this set up in just a matter of time, really. I was going to say a little while, but I don't really know when the window's going to open to plant soybeans. So for right now, we're going to put this over here on the little gravel path that we've got to just kind of hold stuff over in this area. I wanted to use this little road right here for something, like maybe a extra driveway or something, because there used to be 2 driveways into this farm, but now there's just this little dirt path right here, so I want to use this something eventually, but for right now it just kind of goes up to the house. But we'll leave that sitting right there, and now we need the other tractor that was back in this corner. And I still don't have the guts to take the duals off of this tractor yet, so we're going to be baling with them on, because I think it did pretty well last time as well, so no complaints there. And I also see that they have just left the raking tractor sitting out, so they didn't even bother putting it up in the shed. I have some really lazy employees, don't I? Or, well, who's the lazier one, actually? I could have got up and raked myself, but had a nice pancake breakfast while they were out here working, so I'll give them the day off, I suppose. Anywho, we'll head straight down to the field, hoping that it's not a total disaster. I think it's going to be raked pretty nice. And we've got some extra net wrap in here, so I think we are all good to go. We just got to get this stuff up. And then we'll go grab the wagon or something, and we'll bring the Ford tractor down here and pick all the bales up and put them in the shed. I don't want them sitting out here in the rain, because we're supposed to get, I think it's half an inch throughout the day, just off and on, like, what's it even called, like summer shower. There we go. It finally clicked in my head. Not a whole lot of rain. I mean, half an inch is actually a good bit, but like in the next 24 hours we're supposed to get half an inch, so making sure everything is working right. I think it is, so we will get right to baling this stuff up. I am expecting around 9 or 10 bales out of this field. That's usually the yield we get whenever we bale this field, so that's better than nothing. We'll take 9 bales any day of the week, especially with how much we have in the barn right now. And yeah, it looks like Todd did a pretty decent job raking the hay after all. He usually makes a mess of the field, but he actually did pretty good this time. The rows are very straight, so I do like to see that. It makes it a lot easier on me. And what is that? Is that 3 already? No, it's just 2. Okay. Yeah, speaking of that map update I was talking about earlier, I really want to grow some alfalfa, so we might be plowing this field up right here and putting some lime fertilizer out, and then putting some alfalfa down and rolling it and everything, all the goods. I think that might be something I'm pretty interested in, and I don't know how the cows will like that, but we can definitely sell it for some profit, because alfalfa hay does bring in a decent amount of money. So if we ever have some extra ground, we're not really using like smaller fields like this one. If we find a bigger field of hay that we can use, we'll plant a field like this in alfalfa and bale it and sell the bales, because 10 bales, I mean, it brings in, I think it's like double the profit of hay. So that's actually kind of worth the money, if you ask me, but I don't know, just a thought. Oh, and soybean straw. Totally forgot to mention that. Soybean straw will also be a part of this map, so that insane money cheat that we used to use in Farming Simulator 22 to make millions every year, yeah, it was soybean straw. We can do that again. Don't know if I want to, but it's an option. Just thought I'd mention it, because I don't really know of anybody that bales soybean straw unless it's for like bedding for cows or something. I don't know who bales soybean straw, but it's a thing, so it must be pretty popular for something. Not for here. We usually just sell it. So there's actually a lot more to this map update than I thought there was. I'm pretty excited to get it in here and working. Hopefully it works like I want it to. We'll have to just wait and see. Man, we're almost done with this field already. We were actually flying through this job, so yeah, that's a good thing. I really would like to have more hay fields so I can have more hay content, because I feel like we don't really do hay much anymore because of the amount of cows we have. We have very few head of cattle so far, so we don't have the biggest demand for a bunch of hay, so that's the only reason we have one field. But I don't know, real soon we're gonna have more cows, so I'm sure we'll buy more hay fields. Year 4 we will expand our haying empire. I think that's probably a good year to start. Oh, we need a little bit more for this next bale, or actually our last bale. We only have 97%. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to unload it like this, which is okay. So that right there makes well, not a total of 9, or well, we only got 8 this time around, so the yield has definitely gone down. I figured it would have stayed about the same, but I guess it's because we didn't put as much fertilizer out this time around. Or well, what I was talking about a while ago, we have 7 bales and 1 almost finished bale, so we technically have like 7.5. That's a little worse than what we usually do, but I'll take it. I guess I don't have a choice now. I've got to do something with them because they're out there, so we'll feed them to the cows anyway. And actually, you know what? I think 7 bales on just shy of 2 acres is not that bad anyway, because what is that? That's like 4 bales an acre, 3.5 bales an acre, something like that. It's something like that. The math is for sure not there, so I will absolutely take it. And now we'll go get the Ford tractor and put them in the 3-sided shed, and that'll be a job well done. Oh, and I gotta back the baler in this time because I totally forgot to move the hay bind, so oh man, I'm slacking today. And then something like that should do. Oh, wait a second, that actually is the best I've ever backed that baler in. That is a That's art is what that is. That's perfect. Alright, well there's some confidence boost right there. That's the best I've ever backed in any implement on this farm probably. It's right up against the wall and everything. Alright, well I'll quit bragging and put this tractor up, and we'll hop in the loader tractor, and we will call this a job well done, I would say. Well, not yet. In just about, what, maybe 30 minutes or so. Depends on how long it takes us to get these bales up. Oh, and we've also got to put the Magnum up. So that's something else we're going to have to do. So we'll hop back in this tractor. We'll pull it out of here. Got to find the wagon, which I'm assuming it's down here by the finishing barn. It should be. Don't know why it wouldn't be. And we'll take a little road trip down through here. No need in taking the driveway. This is a shortcut. And yep, there it is right there. So we'll go hook up to it. Usually I just take the bales back two at a time, but I think this actually might be a little faster. We'll see. I haven't timed myself yet, but I'm just going to do a little test run in my brain and see which one I think is faster. Or they might be about the same. I'm not really sure. They're definitely close for how long it takes, whether you haul all 7, 8, or 9 of them at a time, or if you just haul 2 at a time up to the barn. So we're going to be doing a little bit of testing around today. That's something I always tend to do. Theory making, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be doing some of that today because Todd says that it's faster to bring up 2 bales at a time. So I've done both. Now I'm going to test it with the wagon one last time and see what's actually faster. I'm going to prove him wrong today, I think. And you know, it'd be nice to have somebody pulling the wagon around the field for me instead of me having to drive all the way from like the corner out here of the field way up to the middle. But you know, they're at a farm auction today, so hey, can't do that. We're just gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Alright, there's one. Let's back up down here and grab number 2. And I've been manually stacking on this farm for so long that I'm actually starting to get pretty good at it. Oh, never mind. Hold on. Oh yeah, check that out right there. That is flawless. Right here goes on the first 2. We'll put them back here at the very back. Just got to be very precise and patient and slow and steady. That's how you stack these bales. You try not to get too mad at them either. Oh no, that's not good. Okay. Well, oh no. Oh, nope, I saved it. Oh, I might have spoke too soon about stacking bales good. Oh, never mind. I'm actually the best at this. Holy cow. Look at that save. That's perfect. And I'm actually going to grab 1 for the front up here just so we don't have to worry about it later. Something about like that. Oh, might have went too far. I speared it kind of crooked so it's all over the place. Well, that's better than nothing. So there we go. There's the first 3 on there. We'll grab the rest of them. Alright, there's 1. Let's come down here and spear this one. Oh, it rolled into the forks. Look at that. Oh, now that is what I'm talking about. That was pretty cool. And another 2 down to the wagon. We'll go ahead and set them up here. Hopefully this time we won't have a runaway bale or anything. Oh, I think I hit the wagon a little bit. I'll slide these bad guys up a little farther and try to get a perfect stack. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. And then this one will go to the other side on the front. And then, last but not least, those 2 bales sitting over there, we will put on the spear of the tractor and drive them up instead of having to stack them. No need. We'll just ride them up with the tractor. And then we'll strap all these bales down and we'll go put them in the barn. And that'll be all for May 3rd. Something like that. So we'll strap them down now. I guess I only really need 1 per side. There we go. That looks okay. Before I hook up to the wagon, I'm going to go grab these real quick and we'll be out of here. So yeah, like I said, a slow month, but that's not a bad thing because we're about to get super busy whenever it's time to harvest wheat and everything when we're double cropping. So for right now, we're just kind of taking it slow, making some hay, all that good stuff. And then before long, we will be back and busier than ever, just in time for fall harvest and everything. So we have successfully beat the rain. That's always a plus in my book. So now I'll run these up to the house real quick. I'll throw them in the shed, and I think that'll be all for today. And the next time I see you guys, I think it should be time to sell our soybeans. So I will figure out a day to sell those. I think it'll be June 2nd. That'll more than likely be the best day to sell them. I think that's when prices really peak. And I think for right now, that was a whole lot quicker than bringing bales up 2 at a time, but that might just be my opinion because we're going to have to unload them now as well. So either way, we got the hay up. That's job well done. So yeah, I will see you guys in just a little while. And I should meet up with you all whenever we are unloading soybeans and taking it uptown. Okay, well, it's a new month, it's another day, and today is a little special because we're going to be selling our soybeans. I am absolutely beyond excited to see how much money we're going to get from this, and we're just going to go ahead and do it. I mean, why wait around for anything? And yeah, you see this correctly. We're going to be using our new wagon today, so that's why I'm even more excited. I really want to see how much this thing can hold, and we're running the new 8320 as well. So a lot of new stuff today. I am pretty excited for all of it, and I figured I would record some footage of it for you all. So we're going to bring this under here. Oh, we might actually have to raise the auger up a little more. Really underestimated how tall this wagon was, so we'll raise it up to about right there should be good. Now we'll hop back in the 8320 and we'll start loading soybeans. I think we have about 30,000 liters in here, 33,000. So that is not the best, but it could be worse. And so while that is filling, let's hop in here to the statistics tab. Make sure we're actually looking at soybeans this time instead of another crop. And as you can see, the price does peak a little higher in like June 2nd, just a tiny bit. But look at this right here, the train sale point, which we have not used on Alma yet. We used to use it all the time in the last On the Map challenge on here, but the price is like $80 more for the train sale point. So we're going to take everything down to the train. We're going to rent the train, load the train, and we're going to send it on down and make a little extra cash. So that might be worth our while, because for whatever reason, all the other crops are like, you don't get as much money from selling with the train as you do just selling it outright. Like, look at this, for example, corn, which is doing okay right now. I mean, it could be better, but look at this, $7.90 at the corn dryer, but you only get $4 extra for selling at the train point, which is, you have to do a lot more steps there. You have to load it into the grain elevator at the train point, rent the train, let the train come over, fill that up, and then take it all the way down across the map. So I just don't understand why you have to do all that to make just a tiny little bit extra money. And some stuff, like you saw right here, look at this, the train sell point, you actually get less money than just selling outright. So this is the first time that the train has actually had a purpose. Like, you actually have to sell it if you want more money using the train. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. I don't know, I just figured I'd mention that. That's kind of strange to me. So the price is really good. I could wait another day, but I really want to see where this is going to go. So we're going to sell it today. And we're just shy of 10,000 liters. We're going to have to come back for one more load, but we'll take this down to the elevator. I'm really just kind of testing out how well this tractor is going to handle this grain wagon, because this is pretty big, but I think it's going to pull it around no problem. And I'll tell you what, we might actually, well, nah, we'll bring two loads. I was going to say we could hook up to the Parker wagons, but we'll come back another time. I'm used to making rounds with the grain bins when we sell grain. So yeah, it's finally June. I do love this month for a lot of reasons. Obviously, the main reason being it's time to harvest wheat, or not for us. We're going to have to wait another month, but summer's finally here. It's a nice 63 degrees outside. It's not blistering hot. I just love this time of year. The cows are all grazing and happy as well. We gave them some water this morning, so it's just been a pretty nice start to June already. So I'm also not real sure where to take this to. I hope it's going to be the same spot it was in Farming Simulator 22. I'm probably going to have to check up here. But look at us rolling into town with this new setup here. I do really like the way this looks. We look like a big time farmer kind of guy rolling in through here with a 655, or wait a minute, no, 750 bushel wagon. Don't know why I just read the number on the side and decided that was going to be how many bushels was in the wagon. Nope, we have almost 1,000 bushel wagon right here. And we'll pull up on the scale and stop here. We've got, oh wow, okay, that's pretty interesting. Now we'll pull on through out of the scale, and unless I'm just dead wrong, we should take another left right here, and the train sell point should be somewhere right in here. This should be it. I don't know, I'm just gonna take a risk here and we'll dump it into this part. Probably should come in here and just double check before I really screw up. Let's see here. Grain West Silo. I'm assuming this is it. Yeah, this must be it right here, even though it says something totally different. This is where we're going to be dumping at. Or, wait a minute. I think I actually have to dump into that pit. Is there a second pit? I'm really confused. I don't know what's going on right now. No, there's not a second pit. So I wonder why the sell point says over there when it's right here. I don't know. This is where we always dumped before, so I'm just going to put it in here and hope for the best. And we've also already rented the train, so that'll be here in no time. And my money's not going up, so yeah, we did this right. We're all good. Now we just got to wait on this to dump. We'll head back to the farm, grab our second load, which is really only like 7,000, 10,000 liters, something like that. It's hardly any. I'm really crossing my fingers we get a lot of soybean crop this year, because this is a very big money maker for us on the farm. I know corn is our money maker, like I mentioned before, but soybeans bring in a lot of cash. It is a very nice summer crop, if you ask me. I mean, one of the best, if not the best. And I know corn is also really valuable in the summertime as well, but there's nothing like selling soybeans in June. It really rakes in some cash. But I think that's all we're going to have in this wagon. There we go. It's a pretty slow dumping wagon if you ask me, but we'll just take it on down the line and head back for another load. Alright, we'll grab the rest of the soybeans here, start filling again. We've got 9,000 liters left to go. I really don't have an estimate of how much money we're going to make off of soybeans, but I would just kind of like it to be around 70,000. I'd really like to meet in like the $100,000 margin, somewhere in there, but I don't know. I could be way off. That's just what I would like. It may be way less, maybe way more. I'm not real sure. I guess we're going to find out in just 1 minute though, whenever we sell this stuff. Alright, so we'll sell this last little bit here, and I think the train is already right there waiting on us. And I assume we can just go ahead and start loading the train, unless I'm wrong. And I'll just leave the tractor sitting there. We'll come back to it in a little while. Alright, we'll go ahead and start loading soybeans. 33,000 liters. It's hardly going to make a dent in this big hopper, but it's alright. Yeah, 37%. A little bit sad, but hey, it's alright. This is what, the third year doing soybeans, or second technically, so I'm hoping by the time we do this again in a year we'll have a whole lot more, maybe even like hundreds of thousands of liters of soybeans or so. But as far as that goes, we're gonna run on down the line 50 miles an hour, absolutely flying here. And this is the first time I've actually taken the train ride down through Alma, so this is pretty sweet. Oh, there's tornado damage right there. Holy cow, didn't even realize that was there. And over there, so if you can see that, that's where that first tornado hit, was right there. It was out in those fields. I never got any good footage of it. That's where the first one hit at. We've had a really bad, like, stormy season here on Alma, it seems like. But I always love this train ride through the map, looking at all the trees and the fields and everything, and the little farm out here and whatnot. And then right up here, it should automatically sell our soybeans. I hope so anyway. If not, there's going to be more steps to do. They better pay me more. And this right here is the first time I've even been on this side of the map, I think. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know why I've never explored out here yet, but this should sell somewhere. Yes, let's see how much money. 68,000. Okay, you know what? That's actually not that bad. Or no, the environmental score actually bumps that up to 90,000. So yeah, that's pretty good actually. That's about where I wanted to be at. So we are no longer broke as a joke. And now I gotta figure out a way to get back to the farm. Oh man, probably gonna have to walk all the way back there. Oh, well, just like that, the power of video editing. Well, back in the tractor. I just walked almost 3 miles. I got a ton of steps in today, looks like. But who am I kidding? I think that's pretty good. We did decent on soybean selling this year. I'll take it. Now we've got a decent amount of money to spend on the finishing barn, so we'll get that finished out, and then we'll more than likely just keep all this money, because I don't know what we need to spend it on, but if we have another event like we did when we had all that liquid fertilizer to buy, we need all the money we can get. So I'm just going to keep it around, spend it wisely is the way I'm going to live with myself for the rest of this year. And yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys today. We sold our soybeans, we got the hay made, and we sprayed some liquid fertilizer. Like I've said a bunch this video, not a very, crazy busy start to summer, but hey, it's better than nothing. We made some hay, made some money, all that good stuff. And by this time next episode, we are going to have a crazy lot of stuff to do. So I'm going to leave you guys with that, and I'm going to just go ahead and start working on the next episode to not leave you guys hanging and, waiting around. So I'll see you all then, but I do want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all in the next one.